All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about the greatest common factor. Greatest common factor can also be called the GCF, greatest common factor. All right, so we're going to use the greatest common factor in the distributive property to find the sum of 12 and 36. Well, so you're like, okay, what's 12 plus 36, right? This is really just in any way, you don't necessarily need to be adding them, but say I want to find the greatest common factor of 12 and 36. What I can do is I'd like to use this method with like these boxes here. I'm going to say, okay, well, what number can go into both 12 and 36? They're both even, so I can say 2. So I put a 2 out here, and then I can say, okay, 12 divided by 2 is 6. And 36 divided by 2 is 18. And then, like, the reason why you're using the distributive property here is because, for example, I could say 2 times 6 plus 18 is actually equal to 12 plus 36 now. However, you can actually continue this process because this is just one factor. You can go ahead and draw more boxes here. And you can say, okay, well, what can go into 6 and 18? Oh, well, 2 can again. So 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 18 9 times. So now we have 2, 2, 3, and 9. So in this case, you would say actually it'd be 2 times 2 would be 4 times 3 plus 9, but we can actually divide into 3 and 9 one more time, and that would be 3. Now you might have seen this all the way back here. Oh, you can do 12 into both of them. That's fine, but this is just kind of a slow process here, right? So, and you'll see that 12 into both is going to be important in a minute. So 3 can divide into both. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So now, like, the greatest common factor is going to be figured out by taking all of these and multiplying them together. And it kind of hinted to you what it was. 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. So that's going to be your GCF. So if you were just looking for the GCF between two numbers, you could use this method, multiply these numbers here on the bottom once you can't divide any further, and be done. You're done with the problem, right? But it says, and the distributive property to find the sum of 12 and 36. So in this case, we go ahead and we say, okay, 12. So 12 becomes the number that I'm going to multiply and distribute across these two addends. 12 times 1, 1 plus 3. And that's going to equal 12 times 12 and 36. So instead of doing 12 plus 36, instead of doing this, I could do it this way. Or we'll when we get to like actual like expressions with algebraic symbols in them, we can use this method too. All right, so to figure this one out, how do I do it? I can do 1 plus 3 is 4, right? And then 4 times 12 is going to be 48. And 12 plus 36 also equals 48. So that's going to be the distributive property piece here. You got your 1, or your 3 goes over here. The 1 comes from here. And the 12 comes from multiplying all of those together, your GCF. But I just want to also highlight, like, hey, we found the greatest common factor by doing this cool little method here. And this is important. Find the GCF, because then eventually you can use it to make the distributive property, do things like this, plus a whole other variety of other things. All right, that's it.